What's going on, guys? RedWolfVion here. Today we'll be jumping in my top picks for 300 and 350. So keep in mind, this list I'll be going over is suits based off my playstyle, my experience, not necessarily suits you might play if you're a long-time player, but to give some ideas to people who may be coming into the game for the first time or early. This gives you an idea how I went about playing some of these suits, and if you're coming in on PC launch, which is scheduled to come out whenever, they might be behind, so this also might help because I'll be focusing on older units a little bit more than newer units. Either way, if you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. We're going to start with generals here. So at 300 generals, I believe GM Command Coal Districts, GM Camoof, and the Dom are for like the core general suits you can use at 300. GM Command in the Coal Districts version, it kind of demands you to learn how the game plays at a very early stage. The Districts version of the GM Command has a very potent machine gun with a grenade launcher that you can follow up with melee attacks. GM Camoof is a general suit that not only has the fake beacon, which kind of, for those who are unaware, fake beacon shows that you're an ally to enemy teams on the radar within a certain range. So when fights get very chaotic, you can take advantage of that and sneak behind enemy lines if you do it the right way. Also, it is one of the early general suits that can actually equip a sniper rifle, the anti-ship rifle. And last but not least, the Dom at 300 is where it comes in. It's another strong general pick for me. I will say that's learning the foundations of learning a lot of these general suits help you further down and higher costs. Because the Dom is a floaty-esque suit, so you want to make sure you know how to control said floaty suit. So it has the giant bazooka, it has the belly button gun, or whatever you want to call it, and then the saber, which is a very nice combo, especially when you have like combo controller or evasion. So it's a very good way to start off. Now when it comes to generals at 350, however, this is where things get really delicious. My go-to general at 350 right now is probably Pale Rider Cavalry. It's a very fun suit. Not only do you have a touchpad system, the Hades or exam-like system, but you have a Gatling gun, you have a missile launcher and a mega beam launcher, which kind of comes out relatively quick, and you have a roll evasion. It's really, really good. Also, around this cost at 350, you can probably still get away with using Aqua GM. The level 2 version is 350, level 1 version is 300, so keep an eye out for that bad boy. You have old school suits like the High Gog here, as well as the Rick Dom 2. All these suits are, I believe, very viable. If you want to go even older, you have the Ifrit, the OG Ifrit suit. It has a shotgun to melee combo focus, and you also have Gundam EZ8, which has a very potent downswing. All these generals, I will say, are pretty good. They all help hone in your understanding of how general suits play, at least early on. Up next, we're going to go over the raids. So the raids at 300 are pretty simple. I like to field. First off, I'm a fan of Zuda. It's a raid that can equip the anti-ship rifle, and that is, for all intents and purposes, considered a sniper rifle, a ballistic sniper rifle, where you can actually counter snipe enemy support units, as well as popping generals or either other raids. It has a nice amount of damage to it and a good, nice bit of range. So definitely give this suit a try. I love the mobility. It's very fun. You have to be very clever, however, because the shots in between the reloading kind of suck. But I mean, it's only 300. Ifrit DS is a very strong raid suit. Many people may remember, if you don't run to this suit now, you probably will at some point in time. It is a very strong suit, similar to the regular Ifrit we talked about in general. The Ifrit DS has a shotgun, it has a smoke discharger as well, and it also has a heat lance. And it's very potent because you can go into the combo with the heat lance after a shotgun blast. So you pop them once the shotgun, switch to your melee, hit once, hits twice, and then go to downswing. Or you can go directly to downswing. It's because you hit and you kind of come down with overhead, and it's very strong and it's easy to hit people with. And it has a nice range. So try this suit. Definitely try this suit. Ifrit DS is probably one of my favorite raids at 300. And you have the Ak guy and Gog, or big old run around melee focus units. The Ak guy is a stealth suit. It has very high stealth at this low level, and the Gog is just something that doesn't want to stop. It has the ability to kind of withstand certain attacks that don't immediately send it toppling. So it has the shock dampeners ability skill. So if you want to play an egg with claws, definitely try this. It being an aquatic style suit, it definitely shines underwater. Last but not least, GM Guard Custom. The raid that I say focuses the enemy to kind of adjust their playstyle around you. With this large shield and the damage you can do, enemy units will either avoid you or rush you, which will give your allies the openings they need, and hopefully they'll be able to take hold of this situation. Because sometimes, let's face it, you're a raid fighting generals, not supports. So I mean, it happens. Just roll with the punches. But this tanky boy is dope. Make sure you check out the videos I have with the GM Guard Custom. I really like it a lot. I would strongly recommend trying this one out too if you want to swap around away from the casual chase somebody. So jumping over to 350 with raids here, Ifrit DS is still very potent here. The Zuda is still potent here. The Zaku Flipper, I will also mention at this point because it's anti-stealth, anti-jamming, and it jams. And it has stealth, which is really dope suit to bring into the battlefield. It can cause a lot of chaos, especially with your camera gun as well. Utilize that suit, it's really fun. I love the melee combos with it, honestly, it just looks cool. And then you also get the prototype Gundam here at 350, another suit I would probably suggest using. It's a very strong suit, it's simple, you hit with your melee being the double beam sabers, not the regular javelin. The double beam sabers are very strong, especially after you follow up with a bazooka attack, so you can build that more melee focus. You also have Blue Destiny Unit 1 that pops in here, another useful raid. It has the beam rifle, and then it has 2 Vulcan type guns, and then you have the 2 missile launchers. So make sure you try these raids because you'll definitely be missing out. They're all really fun, especially when you get the Blue Destiny Unit 1 with the exam and stuff like that. Last but not least, my selection here would include Ifrit Not. It's a suit with a very high level of stealth and a decent level of jamming here. You got assault booster, you have melee combo control level 2, you don't have evasion because you have stealth, but you have the Gatling cannon as well as the cold kunai and the double cold kunais, which both will stagger someone when you hit them. You can run with the cold kunai throw, but you have to stop to throw the double cold kunais, which are really good combos into your cold blade or your cold blade 2, which I strongly suggest using cold blade 2 because you can spin around and hit a lot of multiple enemies who are just jumping your allies, and it's so satisfying to hit people with it. Alright, the moment I've been waiting for, 300 support suits. So GM Sniper Custom, tried and true. I just love it. It's almost nostalgic for me because I've been with this suit for such a long time. It is a suit that has very nice range, nice damage with the beam rifle. The resistance could be something, could leave something to be desired, much like many support suits. But I will say that with its mobility and its damage output capabilities is very strong. However, the beam rifle does not stagger on the initial shot. You have to charge it completely to get the stagger, which that could in some cases lose you out in some exchanges if you're fighting 2 people instead of 1 person or something like that. It has the beam pistol, which is a very fun pistol to use when someone's chasing you or you're trying to chase someone down. You can also swap out the beam rifle for the beam gun or even a hyper bazooka if you want with this bad boy. But all in all, it's a very fun suit, and I strongly suggest people to try it just to get used to how snipers will play going forward a little bit. You also at this point have your Gundam ground type. It's a weapons rack. It has a 100 millimeter cannon, and it is devastating because it has long range. It's like 600 meters. It's really good range. You have the flash grenade and chest Vulcan, and your downswing is actually pretty cool. And then you start to get Zaku sniper suits, but I'll highlight 2 Zaku suits here, and it's the Zaku 1 Commander type and the Zaku 2 Heavy Arms. The Zaku 1 Commander type is something that equips the Magalia top cannon, the prototype, as well as the Zaku 2 Heavy Arms equips this weapon as well. It's a very hard-hitting cannon. It'll stagger the hell out of anyone who it hits, and for the Zaku 1 Commander type, it has the Storm Faust, opposed to the Zaku 2 Heavy Arms has the Cracker, Grenade, and the triple leg missile pod. So, I mean, try either of those support Zaku suits if you want to, play a Zeo suit. But make sure you just have fun with it, because supports are where things get really, really fun. Jumping over to 350 with support suits, the Dragu. It looks funny, silly, but shout outs if you've seen Gundam Unicorn, you know how awesome the suit can be. So the main armaments is rockets, ballista. You can either select the regular rockets out of the tubes or the newly added micro rockets, so you can swap in between. I would probably consider you have large hitting rockets, or you can do a lot of small burst shots. So play around with it. I still probably like the default because I have a little more range with that, and the energy beam from its chest actually does a lot of damage, and you don't have to charge, so you can easily combo 1-2 into someone with that. And of course you have the melee with it, but overall this is a very fun suit because it's aquatic compatible, meaning you'll be able to do that much more underwater and you won't be slowed while underwater with this suit. But hey, don't take my word for it, definitely check it out. It's a favorite suit of mine, and it's a little oldie. Desert GM has remained a solid choice, and I'll say that it is a very fun suit. It's satisfying when you hit him with the rail cannon. It doesn't have as much range as the GM Sniper or any other cannon focused suits, but the mobility overall isn't too bad. It's not the fastest, it's not the slowest, it's in between, but I really like the rail cannon and the missiles that you can use with this bad boy. Also, it has anti-blast stabilizer and anti-stealth, so it's harder for stealth units to run up on you, and it's harder for you to kind of be staggered by suits that explode near you. You have the Dom multi-cannon gun type. At this point, you have a Dom that has a cannon, you have arm missile pods, you have a cracker, grenade, you have your melee, of course, and you all have your Zaku machine gun, or you can swap it to a high mobility rocket launcher, which is really, really freaking good. It's like, this suit is very, very potent and strong. I didn't play with this suit much when this suit originally came out, but it's something that, after time you appreciate its kit that much more. GM Sniper Custom remains to be a very fun suit. The missile launcher variant of this suit is definitely very good, but again, it comes back to it. Their beam rifles does not stagger on hit, so be very mindful when it gets very chaotic. The GM Sniper Custom ML has missile launchers that you can shoot off the shoulders, which do a considerable amount of damage. Last but not least, Gundam Easy-8 Weapons Rack is probably one of my absolute favorites at 350. It coming at level 1 here. You have the cannon from the ground Gundam type, and you also have a beam rifle and machine gun sub weapon. It was really good because you can stagger with the beam rifle, and then you can swap to your cannon, pop them, and go back to your beam rifle, shoot them again, and do all this sorts. When they get a little bit closer, you do have the option of rolling that machine gun out and mowing some people down. It's a really good suit, however it is slow, so either make it very powerful or very tanky. And it has that dope downswing, that's the lunge. And again, when I refer to the Gundam ground type beam rifle, you do have to charge it to get it off. It has been nerfed as it's a sub weapon. Same with the machine gun, but it's still a very good kit all around. So hopefully this helped you guys get an insight into suits that I would probably suggest try playing, picking. May it be your first day, your first week, suits that you gain. So when it comes to 300 and 250, please check these suits out. Again, guys, just because I didn't say the OP suit at this cost, because you know, you play it a lot, or, you know, everyone's saying to use it, doesn't mean it's not viable. This is just a quick pick cost for you all. Hopefully it'll help you. Go for this information. Keep your eyes peeled for the next cost, which will be 400, 450. If you want to leave any feedback or you guys want to discuss it, hey, comments below. They're open as always. But until then, guys, take care of yourselves, stay out of trouble, and nothing but love. Peace.